Hello. I had some hopes this morning for Liz Truss's efforts at diplomacy and her position on the world stage, particularly as she is one of the people who is cited as a possible successor to Boris Johnson. I'm afraid, um, I'm afraid by the end of the press conference that she did with Minister Lavrov, it didn't look very positive. There were two left of centre, two left-fielded balls. Is that what you say when you throw a cricket ball? I've never played cricket, so there we are. Anyway, there were two very alarming questions that came out. One from Russia Today, and the other one from somebody else. I forget who. But they were both very difficult, and Liz Truss did not field them well at all. She dealt with them appallingly. She basically repeated the same mantra. This isn't how you do a press conference, I think. This isn't how you deal, particularly with a diplomat of such experience as Mr. Lavrov. Lavrov spoke at length on each occasion. At one point, he explained that British-Russian relations had reached the lowest ebb they have ever reached. He also said that talking with Liz Truss was like a mute talking with a deaf person. I'm not sure I've got the translation quite right, but I think the sense was that they weren't actually communicating, and that certainly was the sense I got as the press conference developed. I had seriously strong hopes for this, but the look of alarm in Liz Truss's eyes at the beginning of the press conference, I thought was a sort of blip. By the end of the conference, that look had disappeared, and she was strident but repetitive. There was, as I say, there were two really alarming questions. One was pulling up on comments that Boris has made in the past that anybody negotiating with Russia was on a fool's errand. So are you on a fool's errand? She didn't answer the question. And why did Mrs. Thatcher support Chechen leaders during the Chechen revolt? And she didn't answer that. She said she repeated the mantra that we're here to avert war in the Ukraine, that we will work with the Russian government, that we want to work with our NATO allies, and that we are all together as permanent members of the Security Council. All of that is absolutely true, but what we need is to put more flesh on that on those bare bones. Was she there at Boris's request? So, in other words, was she there on a fool's errand? No, she was there. Boris knew that she was there. She was doing so with his approval. It doesn't really deal with those questions. So that was it ended up as a very aggressive interview. And what is extraordinary is the BBC have not covered it at all. The BBC have instead covered Boris's meeting with NATO in Brussels, and this press conference, which has turned into a sort of car crash, does not augur well for either the present situation or for Liz Truss's ambitions to become Prime Minister. If this was an audition, she failed, I'm afraid. And I'm terribly sorry, but I'm more sorry that she hasn't advanced the case for peace at a time when the Belarusian exercises are just beginning, and Ukraine is feeling seriously threatened, and with good reason. The language is wrong, and I don't think standing up to a bully is a matter of repeating a mantra. Standing up to a bully is about engaging with them, and Liz Truss did not engage, and she was there with the one person in the Russian government with whom she could have engaged, a man who speaks impeccable English, and and she failed. As simple as that.